I've tried to film this about 3 times now, and I feel like I'm not doing it justice, but I'm just gonna kind of roll with it really. I thought I'd talk about last year, which I've called the year that I spent alone. It's something that I never thought would happen. I've kind of been single quite a while and I'm used to my own company, but there's a difference between choosing to be alone and there's a difference between it enforced upon you, a decision made by the government against your own free will basically. And there's definitely a difference between someone choosing to spend their Saturday alone reading a book or watching a film compared to the enforcement of you're not allowed to leave your house. If you leave your house, it has to be for one of 3 reasons, maybe food, shopping or exercise. And it hasn't really been an easy experience, to be honest. Times where I've had to like really dig deep, and I've definitely used my channel as a distraction from what's going in my head basically. And this channel isn't really a political channel. I'm not really a political person. I just think the way that the government has handled this hasn't really been great. They've almost sacrificed the younger generation in favour of the older generation, and there kind of becomes a tipping point when you think, should we be focusing on saving people that are in care homes in their 90s that have had a really good life? Should we be sacrificing the lives of teenagers and people in their 20s for the older generation? There is obviously a tipping point, and no matter what government's in place, they're always going to upset someone, aren't they? This isn't like a political rant, but I kind of feel that lockdown in itself has suited the middle classes. It suited the middle classes that feel, oh, I don't have to commute now, I don't have to do the hour commute into London, I can sit at home, I can be in my office, I can spend more time with my children, I can save money, I can sit in my garden. And I feel that the decisions that the government have made, the people in power, they've made those decisions, but they're not thinking of the people in the housing estates that are stuck in a flat. They're not thinking of people like me that are stuck in a cramped 1-bedroom flat. As you've seen, I film in my bedroom because my lounge is really small, and then they're not thinking about people like me that don't have a garden to escape to. I don't have that. I'm stuck in a block of flats with noisy neighbours that aren't necessarily the most considerate of people. And to lock people down and to shut them off into small flats and places where they inhabit, it hasn't been fair. And I think it's now that we'll start to see the outlying problems. We'll start to see the effects of the people that haven't been able to have cancer treatment. We'll start to see the impact of people's mental health problems, and we'll start to see the impact of women that have lost their final chance to have children basically because they haven't been able to have their IVF treatment, or they haven't been able to like meet people organically and date, and they've missed that window. The UK has obviously dealt with it in a different way. I feel sorry for people that are 18 that feel completely helpless, and they've gone to university, they're already spending 9 grand on a university degree per year, and they're stuck in a dorm room, and you definitely have to start to feel, has it been worth it? But in terms of what I have learnt being alone, even though it wouldn't be something that I would have naturally chosen, it's definitely made me stronger and more resilient as a person. I was going to touch on stoicism, but I don't think I've necessarily been stoic during this time, because I've definitely vented out my feelings to my family and friends, and while there is a sense of I have just got on with it, there's also been a sense of me not letting it get in the way. As I said before, I started my YouTube channel just before lockdown, and I could have been like, it's a lockdown, I'm not going to bother. It was almost a case of, fuck you, I'm still going to carry on doing what I want to do, and I'm not going to let the pandemic derail me. It's also stopped the bad habits I possibly had. The bad habits of when I was feeling lonely, reaching out to someone that I dated. I think a lot of people get caught on that kind of merry-go-round of when they're alone, they still want that kind of companionship, and they still want that person there to just chat to, and it's so much easier to go back to someone that's maybe not right for you or that's toxic. And where in the past I've probably done that, the pandemic has definitely made me kind of think, you don't have an option to do that. There's a sense of, if I feel emotion, I had to deal with it head on. If I was feeling lonely, if I was feeling sad, etc., I would have to deal with the emotion head on. In a way, it's been good because I haven't been able to escape my feelings in a physical sense, in case of I haven't been able to go anywhere else. And also emotionally, it's been a good time to kind of clear out all the demons and to just work out what I want out of life, basically. I realised how much of a show I would put on. I realised how much my appearance was tied to being presentable for other people rather than myself, and it's weird. It's one of the only few kind of periods in my life where I was able to get used to my face without makeup, which will sound really strange to a guy watching this, but when you spend your whole life putting on makeup for work, putting on makeup for dates, there's always that sense of you look better and you feel better with makeup on. I was always one of these people that wouldn't go anywhere without makeup. I got used to how my face looked without makeup, and it actually made me more confident because I would kind of think, oh, I'm not putting on makeup because no one's seeing me. It definitely made me evaluate the fact that, am I putting on makeup for other people? Am I putting it on for myself? I've had this time as a reference point. I can always draw back to the point that I spent a year on my own. I could do it. I could be my own support system. It's definitely made me less reliant on family and friends, and I'm just hoping that it will change dating culture slightly. I'm hoping it will make people more likely to want to spend time with people, and I'm hoping that now things seem to be changing with regards to going out more. I'm hoping it will make men in general realise that they do need female company, and whereas before it seemed to be this culture of men only needing women for sex, I'm hoping that it will make men think that they do want the companionship of women, and I'm hoping it will change culture, but you can't tell, can you? It's too early to say. When you're in your own company so much, then it becomes too much because you realise you do need other people. People are not designed to live alone. It seems to be the modern condition where everyone is living alone, and it's not right. We've moved away from the social aspects that we used to live in. I think in general it's just been a time for people to reflect and for people to really evaluate what they want in life and to really evaluate the relationships around them and how they want their life to go going forward. Thanks for watching, everyone.